How am I? Why don't you answer that question for everybody?
Evan's doing great.
How am I today?
I would think you're doing just swell. You got to the game on time. They were up by 40 early. Boring late. And you're up 2-0.
Boring. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the basketball didn't entertain me. Wow. The Islanders get every call. Wow. All I heard over the last 12 hours is a lot of tears. Make sure
Not
that
for me.
replay machine is working.
Not for me.
Because I need Otani to help me out with something right now. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Bruce Cassidy. Oh, the Islanders get too many calls? Really? Hit it right now.
I'm not hitting it.
Come on.
No.
Hey, Giannis.
I'm not hitting it.
How you doing, pal?
Can't hit it.
How are things going, Giannis?
You've changed the context of it, so I can't hit it.
I'm not changing any context.
Yes, I believe you are.
I'm talking about home runs. I'm talking about...
In that case, I can play it all day.
I'm talking about a head coach bitching and whining and calling the Islanders, oh, they're the New York Saints. I'm talking about everybody in the NBA whining. This is too easy for the Nets. Oh, my God.
I don't know who's whining about it.
Enough.
See, here's what I think you've done.
Oh, yeah.
You've invented a scenario that doesn't exist.
Really?
I didn't listen to the station much today, but I just did not. My son moved up from elementary school to middle school
Congratulations
today.
to him.
So I went to that. So I admittedly did not get to hear a lot of the radio station today. But I don't think anyone's whining about the Nets' success. If they were, I missed it. The Brooklyn Nets had a great game last night. They won going away. They're up by 50 at one point, damn near.
Yes.
And they're up 2-0. Congratulations.
I thought
deserved.
the series was going to be tied 1-1.
All good. I don't know who possibly would have said that.
I think you said that yesterday before I left.
They didn't miss a three-point shot in the first half.
How about the way they defended? How about the way they forced turnovers? How about that? You want to comment on that?
I don't, actually, because when you win by 40, who cares? It's boring.
What do you mean?
I'm not a fan, though. If I was a fan of the Nets, I would feel the same way you feel.
I'm glad you're at least pointing that out. Look,
I'm a fan of the sport at this point because my team is out.
I get it.
And last night wasn't fun to watch.
And quite frankly, and I speak for all 500 Net fans, we don't give a rat's ass if you're entertained or not.
I get it.
Okay? But when you're a fan of a team, you want to beat the daylight out of them.
Except for this. You're creating...
No, I'm not.
You're creating
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No, you are.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
You've decided for some weird reason to create some type of competition where, I'm not ripping the Nets. If I were a Net fan last night, would have been great.
I'm not attacking you.
But
the only thing I'm criticizing you for is saying the series is tied 1-1 matter-of-factly.
I got that wrong yesterday.
Craig, in all seriousness, if you want to bury your head in the sand, you're more than welcome to. But what I've heard, not just here at this radio station, but elsewhere, whether it's social media, whether it's on TV, is the whining from non-Net fans that this isn't fair. And quite frankly,
I don't buy that. I'm not saying that.
I'm glad you agree with me, and I'm not attacking you. But also, and this is where I would attack you, don't bury your head and make believe that conversation doesn't occur.
Listen, I think there are people out there, whether it's the Nets this year, the Warriors a couple years ago with Clay, Draymond, Curry, and Durant. Said at the Heat 10 years ago. There are people that'll be their narrative because they have nothing else to complain about.
Right.
I get it. But I would say this to you. Enjoy it.
I am.
Enjoy that.
I'm a happy guy right now.
Listen, I as a basketball fan didn't enjoy it because it was a blowout. There was nothing fun about it as a basketball fan. As a Net fan, of course, you shouldn't care about that. And you don't.
We had one giant
But I don't
party
think
last night at
anybody's
Barclays
being...
Center.
Unless I missed it because I'm not paying attention because I'm not a Nets fan. Listen, my advice to you would be this.
Ignore everybody?
Yeah, they can all go F themselves.
Look, I
Enjoy
feel that
it.
way, and I was expressing that.
Yeah.
I basically don't care what anyone else
But
thinks
you're
about
acting
what the
like you
Nets are
do
doing.
care. And you can't have it both ways. You can't say I don't care, but then get the hairs up on your freckled
My
arms
hairs
up.
aren't up.
They are.
I'm merely pointing out, hey, none of us who are Net fans, and yes, I don't know how big the number is, we don't care that the basketball fan is sad that things aren't competitive.
But don't spend time going wah, 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 because then you do care.
No, I said wah,
you can't have
wah,
it both ways.
I said wah, 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 for being fair, for about 30 seconds.
So let's say
you decided to challenge me. I decided to say, hey, let me point out where you're wrong. But outside of that, I'd rather enjoy the fact that Kevin Durant is maybe the greatest offensive player I've ever seen. I'd rather enjoy the fact that this team is defending on a level that's insane. I'd like to talk about Blake Griffin, who spends more time on the floor getting loose balls than anything. And oh, by the way, I think he knows how to dunk Okay.
Yes, he did not forget how to dunk.
That last night.
Yes. The left-handed dunk is his thing again, and holding up the 5 fingers to the bench has become his thing.
And on the other side, I'm questioning Bruce Cassidy, the head coach of the Bruins, for bitching and moaning about
but you know what that is? All that is what Trotz did before the game. They're playing the game now in the media, where one guy says, what's his name, is a crafty veteran who cheats on the faceoffs. And then the Bruins coach is coming back trying to get calls for Game 6.
I'm going to tell you the difference.
That's all that is.
This is fresh off a win in which the Boston Bruins dominated. Let's call it like it is. And Varlamov was standing on his head in the first period, and basically the Islanders survived the first period, and they survived the third period. And in the middle, they kicked the Bruins' ass on the power play. So there's a little bit of a difference between, hey, I'm trying to get the officials to make calls for me,
that's what
as opposed to whining after a game. He was whining after the game. And I do think that's significantly different.
But he's playing it for Game 6. He's hoping to get a pivotal call in Game 6. But listen, the Islanders won. Good for them. And they get to come back home and try to end it.
Now, I have an important question.
Which is a great play. By the way, if you want to go to a game, even I will say this. If you want to go to a game where you'll come out with your ears ringing.
Nassau's the loudest.
Go to Nassau Coliseum. What's it, tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
7:30 for Game 6, a game in which they can advance to the Eastern Finals.
Well, it's the semifinals this year because they're actually going to reseed.
So they're not going right to the Eastern Finals?
Well, no, it's basically the equivalent.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're taking the final 4 teams, which is actually kind of cool, and they're reseeding it. So it's not technically an East versus a West.
All right.
Now, with that said, I just want to clarify so people understand that.
What?
What?
What are they doing?
They're taking the final 4 teams and they're reseeding them.
In the East?
No, in the National Hockey League. They're taking...
So it's not the championship isn't the East versus the West?
No.
When did that start?
This year.
That's the dumbest thing. What, are we putting a guy on second base as well in the 10th inning?
They're taking the winner. You're funny. They're taking Vegas or Colorado. Okay, they're taking Montreal, they're taking the Islanders, assuming they win, and then Tampa or Carolina, and they're reseeding them 1 through 4. Now, what works out well is that the way things are falling is that the Islanders would play the Lightning, the same team they faced in the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago.
And then they have a series after that?
That's the Stanley Cup Final, yes. You good? Are you okay with this?
This is news to me. By the way, I'm also not paying attention to hockey, but
news to a lot of people.
All right, so let's get to that later today or tomorrow when they play the Game 6.
I really didn't know that. It's not technically the Eastern Conference Finals. It's the semifinals.
It's the postseason semifinals.
Correct.
Because they've decided to go against 100 years of tradition.
No, because they made a Canadian division, remember?
No. When did that happen? How many goddamn divisions are there in this stupid sport?
There's 4 divisions.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm assuming it's COVID to blame, so I'll just blame it on COVID.
That's correct. No, you're right about that part.
And I was away when they made all these hokey decisions, I guess, as well.
No, you weren't.
I was here for this?
Yes.
Wow, they really don't do a good job of marketing things, I can tell you that. It's the first I've ever heard of it. I know they were playing certain teams a lot.
Yeah, you're only your division.
Like you were playing the Devils a lot.
Your division.
Yeah, and people had a problem with that because, like the Devils sucked. So if you got to play the Devils or the Sabres, 20 times, you clearly were going to have a better chance of making the playoffs. Something like that.
You need to answer a very important question.
So dumb.
At 9:50 p.m. last night, I only saw this after the fact.
Yes.
I obviously told you and I told the audience, I'm going to the net game.
Yeah.
I'm DVRing the Islander game, which I successfully did. It was a great, great night.
Yeah.
So I check my messages after the whole night is done.
Yeah.
And I see a text message from my good friend, Craig Jefferson Carton.
Yeah.
And he writes, good game, congrats.
Yeah.
At 9:23.
That was halftime of the net game.
What were you referring to?
Halftime of the Nets game.
You were not trying to spoil the Islander game?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was strictly...
Because I didn't turn the Islander game on until it was 5-3.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You missed all the action?
I missed I turned it on at 5-3. I saw the goal to make it 5-4.
Right.
And then I watched the last 3 minutes or so.
For dear life, basically.
So I did see the final 3 minutes of a 5-4 game.
So you were not trying to spoil the game for me?
I was not. I was trying to get you to leave the Nets game early.
I was never going to leave the Nets game early.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I stayed until the last second. It was magnificent.
Yeah.
The crowd was awesome.
Sounded pretty good.
The crowd was into it.
Like, what was there not? Yeah, there's nothing not to be good about. I mean, literally, at what point they went up by 49 points.
You know what's funny, man? I said this about game 1. The loudest the crowd gets, and I think this is something about New York City and who we are as people. the loudest that arena gets is for Blake Griffin getting on the ground, digging out loose balls.
Because they appreciate the work
I think
ethic.
as a city, Knicks fans, Net fans, whatever team you root for, we appreciate that hard work. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Blake Griffin is that lunch pail guy.
But because
he really is,
the Net fan has no connection to Blake Griffin. No New Yorker has a connection. But if he's doing the little things like that, the diving for loose balls. Listen, there's a 3 or 4 year span in Knick history that we beloved a losing franchise because of that lunch pail ethic.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's call it what it is.
And in sports, you develop that connection. Like Gerrit Cole, we were talking about yesterday, and we'll talk a lot about him today, how I said, he's a free agent, you don't have a connection with him. And C-Mac was like, I'm getting one. And that's the case with everybody on this basketball team.
As a cheater.
You develop... We develop a connection. Like right now, do I have a connection to Kevin Durant? You're damn right I do. It may not be something you understand, and that's fine, but he's my guy. Blake Griffin now is my guy.
Listen, we all get that.
Gerrit Cole is Yankee fans' guys.
Well, we'll see what happens today. Have they announced when Gerrit Cole is speaking to the media yet today? Okay, here's the deal. Listen, if you want to do Nets Sounders, we got you, baby, because they're both on a run towards, knock on wood, at least a championship series appearance. And then, of course, I think we all agree, you roll the dice and hope you win the championship. We have maybe 2 parades. Who the hell knows,
Can you imagine?
But I would say this.
Can you freaking imagine?
Let's not get down the road yet, all right?
Oh, baby.
Tonight is a really important night, I think, for the New York Yankees. We discussed it at length yesterday, but now it's the day of. First and foremost, Gerrit Cole is meeting the media at some point today to discuss the allegations that he was using foreign substances and he's quote-unquote cheating, according to the accusations by Minnesota Twin Josh Donaldson, former MVP, right? But forget about all that. I'm interested in what Gerrit Cole says. I'm really not interested because...
Why not?
Here's why. Because there's something bigger going on for me, the way I process sports.
Go ahead.
The Yankees historically own the Twins.
Yes.
Okay? This is the pivotal moment for me in the Yankee season, both on the field and off the field. If you are a team, if you are united, if you have Gerrit Cole's back, 2 things have to happen. Tonight, Montgomery's pitching, right?
Jordan Montgomery, yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying Montgomery's had the kind of career that, he's going to be comfortable doing it, but I also don't care. A key player for the Minnesota Twins has attacked your best player publicly multiple times now, accusing him of being the face of foreign substance cheating this year in Major League Baseball. If you allow that to go on without somebody taking a shot at him, for me, the Yankee season is over. It's over. They don't have the personality to come back. And I recognize they're, 6 games out in the loss column. There's plenty of time to make that up. And they're actually over 500. If, however, Montgomery today and Gerrit Cole himself tomorrow decides to answer the accusations by whizzing a fastball behind Josh Donaldson's ass, hitting him in the leg, the back. I'm not saying headhunting. I want to be clear about that. But sending the message that we got our guys back, and if my guy Montgomery doesn't do it, I'll do it myself tomorrow. If that happens, and the Yankees do what they usually do against the Twins, which is beat them down, they will salvage the season and I think win the division and go to the playoffs. If they don't, then the New York Yankee franchise has no soul and will not achieve anything that will make you fans happy this year. It all comes down to this series against the Twins. Either they have a soul or they don't.
Well, I'm glad you're not extreme or anything like that.
Not extreme at all.
I'm glad. Well, a couple of things.
And I wish it was a Yankee Stadium because the Yankee Stadium crowd would be phenomenal when Donaldson gets up.
I don't know about that.
I do.
A couple of things.
All right.
If you want to retaliate against what Josh Donaldson said, and by the way, just for the record so we understand what Josh Donaldson said, Josh Donaldson said something very similar to what I said. I never outwardly accused Gerrit Cole of cheating. What I did is I came on the air and said, hey, Craig, I have some interesting facts for you. I told you the facts about his spin rate being down, and then you took it and said, you think Gerrit Cole is cheating.
That's what you're saying.
Donaldson said, here's the quote, and you interpret it. I want you to be fair. Is it coincidence that Gerrit Cole's spin rate numbers went down on Thursday right after 4 minor leaguers got suspended for 10 games? Is that possible? I don't know. Maybe.
What are we doing?
At the same time with this situation, they've let the guys do it.
Yeah.
So he is just giving you what I did, which is, hey, here are some facts.
Here's the guy that has said, I've got video after video of guys cheating.
He says he has a catalog of pitchers doing it, correct.
And the only pitcher's name he mentioned is Gerrit Cole.
Yes.
So he could talk around it all he wants. He's accusing Gerrit Cole of cheating.
Now let's get to the retaliation
and that needs to be dealt with.
That's fine, and I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Or you have no soul.
No. But let's be fair. There is no reason, and I understand what the point you're trying to make, but there's no reason for Jordan Montgomery to do it. This is about Gerrit Cole. This is mano a mano. He's going to face them. If Gerrit Cole wasn't facing the Minnesota Twins, I think you'd have a better argument. And I'd say, boy, it's a tough decision.
So you want to wait till tomorrow night?
Dude, this is a personal thing.
By the way, that's what I said.
And it's up to Gerrit what he wants to do with it.
I made the point of saying Montgomery doesn't have that career work either, where he's going to go out there and waste a start and potentially get kicked out. I'd like to see it tonight. But I'm with you.
It makes no sense.
If you want to wait till tomorrow for Gerrit Cole to do it, I will accept that.
The perfect analogy is if someone attacked you and I said, I got you, bro. You'd appreciate it. But at the end of the day, you may wave me off and say, I got this.
Fair enough.
If you're Gerrit Cole, you got this. And he has the perfect retort that he can say on the field to Josh that C-Mac brought up. And that's, it slipped. Which is the whole joke, because the whole reason pitchers started using pine tar or different concoctions was to get a better grip. So it's a perfect comeback to Josh Donaldson when you plant the fastball right in the square of his back.
You're a diehard Yankee fan. Are you with me or not? Do the Yankees have a soul? We find out, if not tonight for sure, we find out tomorrow with Gerrit Cole. I don't want to hear about pairing wines with meats. I don't want to hear about all the bougie crap you like to do. I don't want to hear about the work ethic, the chatter in the dugout. Now, either you respond or you don't. And I'm not sure that this Yankee team, and I don't know Gerrit, I've never met him. I don't know if he's the type of guy that is going to do what needs to be done.
Craig, follow the evidence.
But the franchise is on life support if they don't.
Follow the evidence. The last time you turned on a microphone and talked about hitting guys was the series against the Astros.
That's right.
And what happened?
And the New York Yankees didn't do it.
So what do you think is going to happen in this 3-game series?
Evan, I don't know.
I'll help you out.
Because now it's personal. Gerrit Cole was an Astro. He wasn't a Yankee.
We're going to see how Gerrit Cole took Josh Donaldson's comments. But I said this to you before. Gerrit Cole knows what he's done. And let's just face it. He's been using the sticky stuff.
I don't care if he is or not. When the guy rats me out publicly, the guy goes down. Period. Stop. Even if he's accurate. He called me out. Get my name out of your mouth. We'll get into it with you right now. 877-337-6666. Real quick, Big Mac, do you think the Yankees have a soul, yes or no?
Yes, they have a soul.
We're going to find out tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, but Big Mac, what do you prefer, sweeping the Minnesota Twins or, Gerrit Cole gets retaliation for his situation with Josh Donaldson?
We're getting both.
That's what I'm talking about.
That wasn't the question.
That's a bad question. Listen, we'll get all your calls coming up. It's going to be a fun. Listen, we just made a ho-hum regular season matchup with the Twins. Very exciting. I'm going to watch every pitch now. I'm going to set an alert for whenever Donaldson gets up just to make sure I see if somebody throws at him. And I would throw at him every at-bat. I would. Nobody calls my guy, in that manner. You rat. He's a no-good rat. That's it.